nearly 5 years after its initial release, ACC has reached its peak usership as the release of the Nordschleife has brought new life into what was already a thriving sim. With the 24 hours of Nürburgring in several events coming up this weekend, we'll be discussing the new addition to the game and yeah, everything that could come from it as well, along with many other news stories as well, covering a lot of the different sims and some hardware being released by Fanatec as well. Welcome to the Late Apex. I am Sam Fitzpatrick. I have alongside me David Sampson, and well, David, we'll get straight into it. ACC Nords released on the 1st of April, and it's gone down very well by everyone. I believe you've had a chance to try it out yourself.
Of course, I was there the second it dropped with my credit card ready, downloaded it.
€12.99.
Yeah, I think it was, for me, it was £9.99, I think.
Oh, it's £9.99.
UK Queen Pounds, King
Sure.
Pounds.
King Pounds, yeah.
King Pounds, that doesn't, British Pounds. I liked it. Obviously, I had to get used to driving the cars, so I just focused on the track more, but it impressed me. It was a little bumpy. I don't know if that's just an ACC thing again. I'm more used to what I'm used to. The track scan's gorgeous. I'm just going to focus on the track, not my likes or dislikes. No point me rehashing the things I liked and didn't like about just ACC in general. But like at night, the thing was amazing. I did a lap at night time, a race rather, and all the campgrounds are lit. There's flashing lights. You have laser lights in the sky. It was a sight to behold. All right, we're going to play you a trailer. Yeah, the graphics are amazing. Like, I'm not in love with the shadows in this game, but that's just the game, nothing to do with the track.
And of course, this will be enabled with dark.
Look at the lights. Like, honestly, the lighting.
Yeah, the shadows.
Yeah.
And of course, with rain as well, it will be there. Albeit it's not great rain model. But yeah, there it is. And it's really cool to see, and everyone on ACC is super excited about this. It's an addition that a lot of people never thought would come.
No.
But obviously it's such a massive part of GT3 racing, and of course the other cars as well that ACC now supports with GT4 and Porsche Cup, that it was highly demanded, and it's now here.
Yeah, I mean, look at the light. Honestly, the lighting blow you away. Obviously in the daytime it's more normal than we're used to, but yeah, I can re-emphasize the night is awe-inspiring. You don't mind dropping a couple of tents to make sure you get to eyeball around a little bit. But yeah, it was a good scan. Everything was where I expected it to be. Can't say I've been around it in a proper car. So it's
Is that something that you'd like to do?
Yes, definitely.
I think I'd like to do it, but only if I could actually push it. I wouldn't want to just drive around it. I'd actually want to have something as inexpensive enough that I would be willing to crash it.
Somewhere in between would be nice for me.
Okay. Would you like to go out with someone like who drives you around? Like be a passenger?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. Every IRL driver I speak to, they're just as scared as being a passenger as we are. It's just not an experience. I mean, I've gone round Road Atlanta as a passenger. Again, you just bricking it.
Sure.
Because everything feels wrong. Everything feels late. No, I'd like to do a lap, but yeah, I would like to do a comfortable lap. I'm not yeeting over curbs and no.
Let's not push it too hard, guys. Here, I know it's a racetrack, but you know, let's calm down a bit. This, of course, meant that there were some absolutely massive numbers on ACC, and there you can see they managed to reach 12,000 users. This is just, of course, on Steam, which is where 95% of ACC users are on, because it's very rarely used on console. But yeah, that's impressive. Considering that when it first launched, and you're talking less than 5,000, how it's been able to grow, mainly since LFM, has been really impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, let's give a quick shout out to AC. It's been pretty much growing since the dawn of time. But I noticed that it's growing in line with ACC. As ACC picks up, it also picked up to assert its dominance. R Factor 2 slowly but steadily at the bottom there, and LFM looks like a cliff edge on this zoomed out approach. But no, yeah, like we said, peak numbers from ACC. Everyone was excited to see the Nordschleife. Makes for great racing, and then we're also getting the introduction of multi-class events a lot more now. It seems like 5 classes and all this, like big grids. Like, I don't think we've got it covered, but I saw a 110 car race around ACC. Did you know it's possible?
What, you actually saw it
I
in
saw it
action?
on stream, and I saw this. Jardy has done a video watching them all pass,
Yeah.
and literally on Twitter, you only see iRacers replying, "Not jealous at all."
Yeah.
110.
iRacing has had 60 car limit for
It's never
like
get used.
10 years.
But this is what iRacers say. Me as well. 60. When do we ever get 60? When's it more than 42 or 50 on a
Well,
special
it's
event?
55 in special events, right? Because otherwise the broadcast wouldn't work.
55. But the way it splits, you never quite get 55.
Well, yeah, you need lots of splits in order to get 55, yeah.
But, you never see 60.
But yeah, Nords is the one race where you need more than 60.
Come on,
because the
you want
track
70,
needs to-
80.
Oh, well, you need 120, like the real life thing.
Oh,
Like that, in real life, it's like 130, isn't it? Feel free to correct me in
I'm
chat.
not sure.
But yeah, like it's absolutely huge. So, yeah. There's a couple of events going on. One is organised by 505 Games. I think that's it. Yeah, in collaboration with LFM and ACC. This is like an invite-only event, but I think it's only
Or pay driver. Sorry, I mean Patreon.
or Patreon. Yeah.
Hello to everyone in chat, by the way. Your favourite stream apart from Samsung? Yeah, I was actually 1 minute before the
Do
stream.
you want to show this?
No, it's fine. No, go on, it's fine. Oh,
Okay.
gosh. I was showing Sam the video 30 seconds before we went live. Hey, Thomas. Hey, everyone.
Nick Horn saying in chat how he's driven the Nords before in an MX-5 and the sim doesn't capture the elevation. I think that's absolutely right. I think that's often the thing which nothing virtual ever captures the elevation of any of these tracks.
For sure. Yeah, so the track
Or the speed, obviously, like just the sense of speed.
The track just seemed bumpy coming from iRacing. I don't know if it's more accurate or less. Like when I drove Monza in Rennsport, and I'm bouncing on the ground like, no, this is wrong, because I'm thinking iRacing. But when I spoke to 2 drivers that have been around Monza and I asked them, they were like, yeah, Monza's hella bumpy.
Is that because of the actual track, or is that because of the suspension on the cars? Yeah.
I don't know what IRL drivers know and what they say. Like when you get conflicting IRL driver, I mean, I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did a couple of races. I say I'm not the biggest ACC user, but I felt well at home and I was having fun. I remember saying, and I quote, "I'm having a lot more fun than I thought I had." I stayed a lot longer than I wanted to. I'll be back. I really enjoyed it. If there's a Nord race going online, I'm going to do that. But yeah, peak numbers, cheap price. Could this be the end of the cycle now? I mean, GT2s was a stretch. I mean,
Hey, what you think that they're not going to add anything more?
I'm just trying to think what they could.
Well,
Apart
they
from
just need to build the online bigger and bigger, more special events.
A special event. They haven't done anything. Like LFM.
Well, yeah, LFM
them
do it
numbers
for them,
are
yeah.
LFM.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, you think of the potential when it comes to doing like a real life style of the Fanatec GT World Challenge. Like it's just asking to be done with splits and whatever.
The problem is if they introduce their matchmaking system, it takes a while for the numbers to get right. Like whereas LFM already have that now. They have their Pro Series.
Well, then they should buy LFM, shouldn't they? They should collaborate more, which is obviously what they've partially done with this. But I don't know. I don't know how much collaboration there really is. I think maybe they're giving it a seal of approval, but I think LFM have done most of the work.
Yeah.
There's also the Nordschleife 24 Hours hosted by Odyssey Racing League. I think that's going to have about 80 or 90 teams taking part in BMW M2 class. I think 6 teams in that. GT4, Porsche Cup, the vast majority are in GT3, 62 teams in GT3. And then also GT2 as well has 7 teams. So going to be a bit empty in all the classes but GT3, but hopefully everyone has fun in that nonetheless.
Yep.
So I think we'll stick with Assetto Corsa news, and we've got news of Assetto Corsa 2, or at least it was known as Assetto Corsa 2 until now, because there has been a teaser trailer which gives away absolutely nothing. Probably took them about 20 minutes to put together. But it reveals the name, and rather than Assetto Corsa 2, it's going to be called Assetto Corsa Evo. Do you like the name?
I do. And do you want to know a funny bit of marketing that they pulled off that I don't think you knew? Do you know how people found this website?
What website? Sorry.
This link at first. How this link was first discovered.
Have
a
I don't
guess.
know. Oh, have a guess.
It's tied into a
I don't
recent
know.
release.
Oh, was it like on a banner at Nordschleife?
Yes, a QR code.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you pull over, scan the code, up pops the link.
Smart.
Yes.
It's got a lot of views, actually. It's got 142,000 views in 3 days. Which,
Now-
considering that it has absolutely nothing in it, is quite impressive.
I took a optimistic view of this rename, and Sam was like, "Eh." I was thinking this name signifies them taking on not just because they've got this left and right of their sim racing divisions, the casuals and the tryhards. I think that's a good way of putting it, actually. Casuals and the tryhards.
Which one are you? Tryhard.
Tryhard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got AC and ACC. I think this is their statement. Honestly, I think ACC Evo evolved is them saying, okay, this is not AC2 and this is not an ACC continuation of the license. This is AC evolved, i.e., if you want to drive a golf cart around a shopping mall for fun with your friends
But
online,
haven't they already said that they're not doing mods?
the rename might be a restatement. I don't know. I'm hoping, let's say, no proof of what I'm saying. I'm hoping it's across them both. And this is going to be, I'm hoping. It's a stretch.
Yeah, so I disagree. In my opinion, Evo, and I think Nick Horner said this in chat, it's often used as a revision of rave cars. Feel like, was it the Audi R8 Evo?
The Mitsubishi as well. Mitsubishi Evo.
Yeah. Evo, in my mind, is just a buzzword. And it's like, well, it's not the first time that we've done it. So I guess it's Evo. And they probably had 5 buzzwords that they could use, and they decided to go for Evo.
I also
think
had
it means nothing.
a good point that backs up your point is that the general mass do think of ACC as AC2.
Yeah.
The people who don't
Well,
know that it's a sidestep, not...
So, yeah.
They're like, oh, I used to play AC, now I play ACC, because that's the new game.
But then, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But you're right. It's going to be weird because we're going to have like 3 popular Assetto Corsa games. Because AC is going to be still popular,
100%.
especially if my theory is correct that they're not going to support mods on AC Evo. And then obviously ACC is still going to be the simulation one and still the one that LFM at least is most integrated with in the first place. So we might have like 3 of them all getting 10,000 users. But of course that's the concern that maybe AC Evo will come out and people will be like, yeah, we don't need it. ACC is better than it's ever been.
Yeah,
it's great for us as a simulation, and AC is
and obviously
got the most fun elements of it.
One thing we spoke about off stream, which we're breaking a rule because we never talk about this stuff before the stream because then we run out of banter. Ace. It's called Ace.
It's called Ace.
AC, ACC, bad names. Ace.
Ace.
Faster, better looking, rolls off the tongue.
Yep.
Are you playing Ace tonight? That's good.
Yeah.
Unless
really good.
Unless we have to add the word LFM again.
Yeah.
Are you playing Ace LFM? Yeah, that's terrible. So they cannot rely on LFM for the numbers again.
Sure.
Because if it's not doing modding and it half-asses like ACC, let's face it, ACC is huge and popular right now because of LFM.
Yep.
What on earth would you be doing on ACC last week if, like, they've released an Nordschleife? Okay, cool.
I'll drive it for an hour.
And now I've beat the AIs on 110%. What do I do? Oh, I'll join an open lobby. I'm dead in T1. I'll join an open lobby. I'm dead in T2. I'm bored now.
Yeah.
LFM. So if they're not doing modding and they don't take on LFM, what is this game for?
Yeah, it is difficult. Confirmed for 2024. It was originally meant to be 2024 summer, but then they said that it's going to be delayed. Didn't explicitly state whether it would be delayed to 2025, but in that announcement trailer, they did say it was going to be released in 2024, but I expect it near the end of the year, and it's still a very decent possibility it'll be 2025 release. But yeah, maybe a vote of confidence that they will get it out before the end of the year.
Yep.
I think that covers Assetto Corsa news, so we'll move on. And there's so many like evenly matched news stories, so it's difficult to have an order, but let's go with Motorsport Games. Next up, they released a full year report when it comes to their finances.
And or lack of.
So this is like the main page. Obviously, they're not going to be too downhearted about it, but they boast about making savings by expense reductions under the previously announced 2022 restructuring program has yielded savings of $6.7 million as the end of 2023 by closing Motorsport Games Australia and also releasing Le Mans Ultimate to early access. And they say that it's had positive community reception and initial sales above internal forecasted levels. I'm not going to go through all of this because there was a better article from Boxless Lab which summarized it a little bit better. But yeah, as of April the 1st, 2024, the company's cash and cash equivalents have decreased to 1.3 million. Based on this cash and cash equivalents, the company's average cash burn, the company does not believe it has sufficient cash on hand to fund its operation for a remainder of 2024, and that additional funding will be required in order to continue operations. In order to address its liquidity shortfall, the company is actively exploring several options, including but not limited to additional funding in the form of potential equity and or debt financing arrangements or similar transactions, other strategic alternatives for its business, including but not limited to the sale or licensing of the company's assets in addition to its recent sale of NASCAR license, and 3, further cost reduction and restructuring initiatives. So basically they want to get more investors. They might sell more of their assets when it comes to licenses, and they might and they might fire some people as well, so they don't have to pay as many wages. So pretty damning.
Yeah, looks like all they have is Le Mans Ultimate and the Virtual Le Mans Series and the WEC license. They're the focuses, I think.
Well, yeah, they even say that everything else wasn't working, so they put all their effort into Le Mans Ultimate, making sure it delivers.
Yeah, I think for an early access game, I mean, there were a hefty amount of bugs, but they took them on the nose, started patching them 2 times a week, engage with the community on Discord and Twitter. I've been really impressed. The numbers, I mean, we can share the report. This is R Factor 2 versus LMU, LMU being green. And by LMU, I mean Le Mans Ultimate. Yeah. I don't really need to describe that.
Yeah, it's died down quite a bit. It initially was over 4K, and it was pretty stable for the first week, but since iRacing Rain, I think it's decreased quite a bit, and obviously just updates when it comes to iRacing and ACC, which in reality are LMU's main rivals, have quashed their participation, and maybe people getting a bit bored as well of the game as time goes by. 55,000 people have bought the game, which I was surprised how high that is. I think people need to remember that on iRacing, there's been just over 1 million users in its like 17-year history. So to get 55,000 in a month is quite a lot.
In early access.
In early access. So, and because you have to pay a decent amount, like it's over 20 quid. So it's a proper commitment for people. It's not like Racing, for example.
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite impressive, but yeah, it has died down quite a bit.
They need to finish the full release, include the next 2024 tracks, 2024 cars, give them for free. Full access release. And then they need to get on the announcements of the other subject we're going to be talking about, and that's the Virtual Le Mans Series. They need to focus on those 2 factors, and then let's see what they can do. They've got an uphill climb, but they come out swinging. Those numbers they started posting were ACC-ish kind of numbers. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's too late, Glim. It is early access. And I say, this isn't like iRacing's approach. They are being super engaging. If you go into their Discord and have a problem, they reply. And then you might see your description to a problem in the next patch on that Friday. Yeah.
I was just laughing at Glyn BT's comment. The BAM is closer. Yeah. I've also got my phone here. But that is, yeah, you can see the phone is behind the BAM. That's a good... I mean, this is tough. What's in front, the phone or the BAM?
They can't see the phone, mate.
Yeah, well, that's why it's tough.
Oh.
It's a demanding game.
I can tell them.
Well, I think that ruins the game, doesn't it?
Oh, it does ruin the game a little bit, yeah.
If you tell them. Well, you could tell them, but you're not necessarily telling the truth. That's fun. We've got a new game. What's ahead, David? The phone or the BAM?
The BAM.
The BAM. Okay, so do you believe David or do you think David's lying? The good thing is that the audio listeners can actually participate in this as well,
Correct.
because it's based on you. Obviously, they can't see the facial cues of David is twitching all over the place right now. But yeah, see if he is lying.
But no, I think Le Mans Ultimate, they do need to deliver a bit more and say, give us the 2024 tracks. They need to start focusing on the GT3s, which I do think are a way off. And keep this engagement level of patch updates and bug fixes and deliver the full release soon. Yeah, I think they have a shot. Not saying they're shot at iRacing. I think they can carry ACC-ish weight.
Well, I mean, you see ACC is reached its peak after 5 years. I mean, maybe it would be the same with LMU, right? Like, it might be a real slow grind of it increasing numbers.
They have a brilliant license, and they know
arguably the most valuable behind F1. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a brilliant license. So, again, I'm rooting for them. Do I wish a company would come in, buy our Motorsport Games and rename the company so we don't have to talk about them in this negative but positive hoping way? Yes, of course I do. I'd love a fresh coat of paint. I'd love this company to be gone. Do you know what? I'd like a company to come in called blah, blah, blah investment capital, right? Doesn't matter their name. And guess what the studio's called? 397.
397, yeah.
We all love Studio 397.
Yep.
And then shut off Factor 2 or integrate the features. Like, they're doing an AC. Like, they're competing with themselves. It's
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, because I think, like, if you want to drive wet cars, you drive on LMU. If you don't want to drive wet cars, you don't drive on LMU.
True.
Whereas I think when it comes to GT3s, it's a bit messy right now.
True. They're not competing with each other. We compared them. They're not competing with each other. Yeah. It's just stupid of me to say.
It's all right. We are a reliable news source. Let's continue then with Le Mans Ultimate. Virtual Le Mans has had a bit of a teaser statement.
What am I missing? Sorry, have you seen the guesses in chat?
So Thomas Hansen isn't believing David, but someone was believing David. I can reveal that David was lying. The phone is actually closer. Obviously, you can't see that, but it is genuinely closer than the BAM.
It is a lot closer, sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, David was lying. So, Le Mans Ultimate, there's been some hints about Virtual Le Mans. Some more details are going to be announced during June, which I imagine I've always had it in my mind, and it's just
same.
Like, it's going to be the full release during Le Mans 24.
Yeah.
Right? So,
because that gives them the stage.
Yeah. It's so obvious.
Yeah, and that could be huge numbers.
Yes, that really could. And Eurosport, they get £5 per advert because, let's face it, no one's watching it, and so they can easily fill every advert with Le Mans Ultimate.
You're gonna see the IRL drivers go around the corner, then they're gonna simulate that and be like, boom, you can become a driver, compete in the wet, compete in the dry, compete. I can see the advert in my head.
Lots of competes.
Oh, it's gonna be. They'll probably have rigs there at the event in a small studio, and I think it's gonna be big for them. I think not this financial report, the one before, they were talking about this asset value of the exposure they can give their own game with their license from the IRL event. I think it's going to be huge.
They should have before the Grand National, because obviously I'm a huge fan of horse racing, as everyone knows, that they do like a virtual Grand National where they have the best horses from like 40 years ago, and they have like a CGI thing. Should have that for Le Mans. Basically, what I'm saying is they should have a virtual Le Mans before the actual Le Mans. Be really good.
I think fast forward 5 years, 10 years, and you'll probably have the IRL before the virtual, one people actually watch.
Yeah.
Honestly, no paid drivers. Well, there might be, because I suppose you've got a team, only 3 drivers to pay one getting. Yeah, this paid driver issue is always going to be a problem, isn't
it? Yeah. So some bit of controversial language. So previously you had to pay a lot of money. Like, the entry fee for Le Mans, virtual Le Mans, was like £1,500 for the season. That's a lot of money. There's no esports competition that I'm aware of which has that level of entry fee. So it was a lot of money, and it was only esports teams. However, they came out with this statement from Hood. So I'm not sure what his first name is. But he said, for us, This is not about throwing prize money out there to attract the top 1% of professional esports drivers. Really, that's yesterday needs. What we care about is the 99% of the player base. People who aren't necessarily trying to be the fastest, but want to be part of the community, want to imagine the fantasy of being a racing driver, want to contribute to something, and want to have fun and entertainment online. That's very different from what people had typically done in racing esports previously, and we think we're in a great place to harness that this year.
And as you've put it, a correct statement, a reverse Rensport.
Yeah, reverse Rensport, that's what I put in the notes, because Rensport has got a lot of hate for endorsing the esports side, and they've done the opposite by saying, no, it's not about esports, it's about you, the community, we're doing it for you guys.
Now, obviously, I'm involved with a lot of the community side, so I get to see the response to this. It's amazing how this open message offended so many people, because they did. They offended 1%, the loudest of us.
The ones who have an audience.
The ones who have an audience, correct. Nobody knows who these 99% are.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. So, yeah, I mean, Jardier, for one, was very unhappy on Twitter. Basically, his point was, why say that? Why all that crap about why not just say we are passionate about all sim racers at all levels, not just putting on prize events? Why almost have a dig at them? So anyway, the ones with Twitter accounts and YouTube accounts and Twitch accounts aren't happy. Obviously, it's not. I'm not saying they were offensive, but
it's a bit tricky as well because I think esports teams are probably going to do it anyway, aren't they? Like they're going to be at the front anyway. They're going to be in top split, and the thing is, and like Le Mans Ultimate was so big. Oh, sorry, Virtual Le Mans was so big because they had the esports teams and they had the real life drivers. Like it wasn't about the 99%. It was all about attracting these big names to race in this event.
Ironically, it wasn't even about the 1%. It was about the Max Verstappen.
0.1%. Yeah.
It was about Max Verstappen. I'm sorry, these other drivers. No offense, everyone downstairs.
Yeah.
It was about Max.
Verstappen. Yeah, all the other. At one point, they had the F1, the F2, and the F3 champion.
Yeah.
Racing.
That was a huge event. Obviously, it went terribly. But let's not forget the scale and scope and reach.
Still the biggest event.
Yes.
Of the year, no doubt about it.
But anyway, it's a big statement. So, yeah, I read this message and started put together a 24 team. I know it's probably going to be a long, long time away, but I want to start prepping and organising. That's what I do. I like the organising side. It's exciting.
Am I gonna?
Did you not check your DMs?
Am I in?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Sweet, nice. Thanks for that.
A spotter, yeah.
Well, no. When I'm not driving, I'll be.
Okay.
Because I'll be driving, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but, yeah.
100%. You must have gone into DM spam, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's where. Yeah.
That's where you were.
I look forward to it.
Excellent.
So of course that will be more details will be released in June. So hopefully they'll have the whole system sorted out. We're talking multiple splits, we're talking multi-class. So they need to work hard now to get the GT3s out, to get the online system better. They need to get the bugs out of the way, and they've got 2 months to do it.
Question. This statement they put out, they are going to have the top split esport race, and aren't they going to broadcast it and throw money at it and commentators?
Oh yeah, because it was successful. So it'd be crazy to change it, yeah.
But aren't one or two esport teams going to reply, wait, wasn't this aimed at us? Like,
yeah, oh yeah, this series is for the esports people, yeah. So it is quite counterintuitive. But then saying that, the esports team is still going to sign up. Charlie is still going to do it.
Of course.
So they can sort of, both sides will annoy each other and they'll be like, it's mutually beneficial. We'll do the series.
Yeah.
So look forward to seeing what they do. Moving on to WRC, not a big patch this, so we'll just go over it quickly. Here's the EA Sports site. New content. Added 10 Rally Pass Season 4 cosmetic items. Some more cosmetic items. They added an esports tab in main menu, which will go live when the competition is ready to begin. And they've also fixed some stuff. So, a little update there for WRC.
One tidbit, anything, is in this patch notes. It's a very exciting little thing that's huge.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. That's actually the thing that people are talking about, and I missed that.
The VR.
Mm.
Now, not because I care about rallies getting VR. What I care is that Unreal Engine has the ability for VR, and that I'm sure that means triple screens, easy, like native triple screens. Because I don't think one can work without the other. The understanding of how. So that means Rensport. That means. ACC sort. Oh, no, ACC is fine. Yeah. What does ACC run on? I'm confused now.
Is it the developers are Kunzo? But no, they don't use Unreal.
I thought it was. Maybe it was the older version of Unreal. Oh, well, anyway, I'm getting myself confused. But it's good for the engine, is what I'm saying, because I think they use the most modern one. ACC is Unreal.
So yeah, WRC. Oh, is it?
What version of Unreal?
Because we're now on 5, right? So maybe it must have been 4 because 5 was only released fairly recently.
Yeah, 4. Okay. So I know 5 has been #soon for triples and VR support. So, I mean, hopefully this is good.
Yes. By the way, you can't actually use VR yet on WRC, but like they're a step closer. So they're saying by the end of the month, you might be able to use VR on WRC. Which I know is really so because obviously, I surround myself with esports people and, it's all about ultra wides and triples. But I personally forget just how popular VR is. And honestly, on Rensport, if you look through the comments, VR is like the #1 thing that people want. So yeah, it's a big deal. iRacing, we're covering all the sims tonight. iRacing patch deployed. Quite a big download this. It was like 1.5 gigs. I was surprised. But it's something that you've put a lot of thought into, David, on this show.
I've gone over like a conspiracy.
I can never follow your logic, but it's all irrelevant now because they've added the Ford and the Macca terrain. So wet Spa 24 later in the year, and wet BRS Spin Series
next week. Monza. They cranked the dial. 100% chance.
Making up for the previous rain.
Do you know what the funniest thing? I posted in my Discord. I'm not naming any names, but it's always funny when I say 100% rain. They're like, so does that mean that guarantees rain? I'm like, 100%, yes. 100%. Like, not 99, like you are going to get 1 in 100, no rain.
There's a chance.
It's 100% chance of rain. It does mean you might only get a little bit of rain, or when you get the rain, but it will rain. It has to. Otherwise, the system's broken.
Surely it could rain for like 1 minute at the start of the session, right? And then stop raining?
I suppose. It better not.
No.
I like to over-confuse subjects. How about the percent? We never think about it. Percent is made up of 101 numbers.
Oh, what?
Because of 0. You always say 0 to 100, don't you?
Yeah.
Is 0 a percent? Because if you're allowed 100, which is guaranteed, surely you're allowed the opposite, which is there's no guarantee, 0.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but 0 to 100 is still only 100. Like the range is 100. There's 101 numbers, but if you went 1 and 2, there's 2 numbers there, but it's only 1 between them. 2 minus 1 is 1, but there's 2 numbers, 1 and 2.
Separate podcast.
I mean, that's the most pointless conversation anyone's ever had. So, oh, Glyn, that's a bit harsh. Nick Horn saying 0 is not a number. That was a big thing. I think like a Roman said was like, 0 is a number. And then loads of technological advancements were made. They're like, we've figured out stuff now because we know that 0 is a number. But I'm not familiar with...
Well, it has to be because otherwise 1 less than something and 1 positive something is 2 apart.
Well, yeah, I don't really know what the big deal was, honestly. I don't know how they only figured that out like 2,500 years ago.
I'm looking forward to the chapter on this part of the podcast when Lee has to write mathematics.
Yeah, Greek mathematics. But yeah, they were really... yeah, I'll stop. I'll shut up. Yeah.
Anyway.
So no Mustang, right? GT3.
Well, they've
added this.
This isn't a good sign.
No,
because I know I have my conspiracy layers, but why now the rush for the Ford and the other cars before Spa 24 if they've added rain. Like, I know I get a bit layered.
If you get, why would they add tyres to this if they know that the cars are going to be dropped in 8 weeks?
Bingo. So did they add them because the cars are taking longer than planned? I mean, we're reading way too much into this. Right, next subject. I was actually quite excited about this.
This is... we look at a lot of rubbish rigs on this podcast, don't we? And I was almost going to look at another one today, but I thought, now we've got a PAX podcast, I'll leave it till next week. But CSL Fanatec have released their new CSL Cockpit, and this is clean, is how I describe it. Really minimalist, but nice.
£399.
And euros and dollars as well.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure it's actually £399? Because I didn't see on this it said £399. But I mean, if it is, then we're getting a bad deal in this country. But over in the US, you guys are absolutely in for a treat, really benefiting from this. But yeah, let's have a look at it. Today, this is an article, by the way, from Boxers Lab. And yeah, it's the release of the CSL Cockpit. Ready for entry-level drivers, but just look how clean that is. Really not a whole lot to it, but very customizable. And yeah,
I've got
first
the
released in
Fanatec
December
link.
23.
I'll put the Fanatec link.
But yeah, it is quite a bit different to the Rennsport Cockpit V2, which has nothing to do with the racing sim Rennsport. But yeah, it's a more accessible option without compromising on performance or quality, and that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, hopefully you can see that all right. It is a black rig, but yeah, that's really all it is. But I mean, it looks, like I said, just really, really clean.
It's rated up to... wait, that's the wrong link, sorry.
It supports load cell pedals, and it also supports, I believe, direct drive wheels as well.
Up to 25
Newton meters of torque, which is all you need. Like, you're rarely going to find a wheel with more than 20 Newton meters of force, let alone use it all.
Just trying to get
a lot of adjustability, so you can use it for GT and rallying seating positions, or even a karting stance. And yeah, it's cheap. And also, the shifter holder is only $40, which is a pretty good addition as well to the game, or to the rig. And there it is, 400 euros, $400, the Aussies, 670 Aussie dollars.
I cannot on their website get it to go to... I've sent you the link for the Fanatec page, but I cannot get it into pounds.
Where did you send it to me?
On the document.
Ah,
sorry, that's a bit...
No, you did the right thing.
Yeah, maybe it's just me, but I cannot get this damn thing into pounds.
Shall
While you're looking for that, the reason I'm excited for this is I go on this podcast every week about how we need to get console users into the try-hard zone. There you go. We had those zones earlier on. We need to get console players into sim racing, because no sim racing title that's released at the moment, LMU, iRacing, any of them could withstand a Gran Turismo-backed game that works on PlayStation and PC, for example. Cross-play. And if console users have the ability to run a proper DD, a 49 screen up close, have it portable in next to their... like, what I'm saying is have this as their console playing machine instead of their, whatever stuff. We just need to get console players on rigs like this to take sim racing to the next level, like a level never thought of before.
Got another one of these. Shall we do this as a group?
Sam's really into these.
This is a new test thing that they do. I didn't know this existed. But you got to click on the one that is created by humans. So which one? We've got a fish, we've got an elephant, we've got another elephant, we've got another elephant, and we've got a horse. But we've also got a cookie. So unless you've got a secret underground lab where you're making some tusked large animals, I think it's your friend and mine, the cookie. But I think we get another one. Here we go. So we've got choice. It's fish again. Muffin, elephant, horse, horse. We're going to go for the muffin.
Sam really wants to find a website where you can just play
I
this
just
game.
said try again.
You failed.
Do we not make muffins?
In chat, I use the GT Omega Art, which is
What's
the
going on,
screen
David?
similar yeah, but the problem is nobody knows who GT Omega is. That's what I mean. Console users only have Fanatec, I think. Afghanistan, you've put, by the way. I'm going to...
Yeah, but... Oh, okay, here we go.
I'll bring us back to camera so you don't pre-fill your address. Yeah, so Fanatec is the only company with that console reach, with a PlayStation license, with an Xbox license, with the marketing power to get console players to do what we need them to do.
It's not happy. I don't... Oh, no. Yeah, the address I put in didn't match with Afghanistan. So, yeah.
If it was after the UK price, why did you use Afghanistan? Why not use a real address?
I thought it would at some point say, oh, well, we can see by your browser that you're in the UK, so... But it didn't.
My lord.
Do they not use pounds in Afghanistan?
I have no idea, but we do in the United of Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, that's pretty much it, isn't it? Not really many other places which use the sterling.
Can I share my screen? I don't know if you've seen the Fanatec pictures. I don't know what pictures I was finding this when you shared. So yeah, clean is an understatement. What the hell seat is that? Is that karting? Oh, okay, now that's cool.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's the picture I wanted to show you. Does it flex? I don't know. I would like to get this in. Because I think this with a PlayStation 5, Gran Turismo and all that, I mean, obviously iRacing everything's fine, but this with a 49-inch screen, I think is a great concept. Anyway, I'm not the huge Fanatec fan, so if I'm getting excited about it, I'm just excited about the future of sim racing, and that involves console players. We win nothing without them. We're getting by, but this 15, 17,000 ceiling that we get excited about when we're like raving about, like, oh my God. I mean, that's toilet water to console. Like consoles, if a game ever went down that low, they're just going to shut the online servers down. Can't afford this. And that's our ceiling. Like it's been proved iron again, whether by iRacing, ACC, when Nords come out, over and over again. We're never hitting that 250,000 in a day. Yeah. So it is what it is. But I would love to see, like say, AC Evo take... AC Evo? Please don't say I called it that. Ace. It's not going to become AC Evo, is it?
Might do.
It might do.
I think it will do.
It already has.
You've done it. Well done.
AC Evo. Why make it... Oh, anyway, now it's the long... AC, ACC, AC Evo. Now it's even longer. Ace. We need to fix it. Ace. Because we know Assetto Corsa and those games have worked on consoles before, so if they can bring us the LFM experience with their licenses, with their mods, with their creative online, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe that's what means evolved means. Perhaps they should buy Fanatec and LFM. Fanatec's going cheap from what I can hear.
Yeah, well maybe what you call is selling half his shares. So
yeah,
wants to be rid of it. Last news.
AC Evo LFM. Oh no. That's one of the longest sim racing titles with the least amount of letters.
Oh, what?
My screen.
Oh. Here we go. We should put, yes. Here is F1 Sim Racing. Come on, guys. F1 Sim Racing logo, and yet they've got F1 Esports is still the title. Come on.
The problems don't start there.
They have
there, rather.
announced 2 LAN rounds. This seemingly might be the end of the season. I'm not quite sure, or whether there'll be rounds after this, but we've got 2 rounds. One is Event 2, and one is Event 3. Where are they? I'm not sure. We did have a decent look, but I'm not sure. But they are both LANs. Tiring days as well. 3 days for that Event 2. So they're doing 2 races a day. So like obviously qualifying and the race. They're doing that twice per day over the course of 3 days. Gonna be tough, that event number 2. Of course, we've already done event number 1, which was meant to be 2 events, but they only did 1 event. So you can see it's a proper Goliath LAN events as they try to make up for the rounds that they've missed for a long, long time. Yeah, that is what's happening there. But I'm like, we might be blind. I'm genuinely not sure where the LAN is.
No, I haven't seen Evo. Not that I could be bothered.
I mean, we had a solid look for, a
For
good 3 minutes.
2.
Um,
While eating pizza. While making jokes.
The problem is they keep on saying, oh, well, the season will start in Bahrain, but it's like, obviously, the virtual track. So I'm not sure.
I'm not filled with confidence. It feels like just a tweet went out. Like, everything's named wrong, dated wrong. They've given the drivers... How long to the first race? 2 weeks?
Yeah, but they maybe knew about this before.
Oh, yeah,
I
they
don't
really
think they
seemed
did,
like... No,
but, like,
yeah.
to give them the benefit of the doubt.
They really seemed like it.
Event number 2, April the 10th. Wow. What? That's what?
I know.
Is that Wednesday? That's Wednesday. Wow.
It's just a... I don't know what this is.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
They have got the teams sorted out.
The teams are already there. They're just not being paid or featured anywhere. Have you got the lineups?
Yeah, here we go. For Kick F1 Sim Racing team, we've got Ron Ha, Lee, and Van Dyken. I think Van Dyken's a new driver, 20 years old. Tom Manley is an AlphaTauri Orlan. I appreciate the teams which have really gone heavy with the sponsorship. Haas Esports, no sponsorship. AlphaTauri Orlan. Sorry, what? Hang on, what? They're still called AlphaTauri.
Oh, yeah. RB.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah, perhaps they just didn't want to be Red Bull and RB because it's stupid.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because essentially the name is Visa Cash App.
Visa Cash App, and they haven't even got that. Oh, my.
It wouldn't fit on there, mate. If you wrote the word RB
they've got
Visa...
Scuderia Ferrari Esports on there.
True. Yeah, I've got no faith in this. We'll see. I hope the best for the drivers. They deserve better, but...
I didn't even realise Job was doing it. But Job's doing it. Red Bull Sim Racing. He's a busy man, eh? Very busy man.
Yep.
Of course, finishing up Porsche GB at the moment, and the PESC as well.
And he just
Probably going to win
ESR 1.
And yeah, was doing ESR 1 last season.
What a beast.
So, yeah.
And we've just named 3 or 4 sims in that sentence.
And he's top 3 in all of them. Like, crazy.
Yeah, absolutely built different.
Yeah, he's finished runner-up twice in F1
I'm not
esports,
sure.
I think. I'm not entirely sure. But he's never won. And of course, he came runner-up as well last year in ESR 1. So he doesn't always win, but he's always top 3.
We've had this talk as well, but who is the ultimate sim racer? Him or...
Beneke?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, I meant no. Said that kind of wrong. No, ESR winner.
Oh, Rogers.
Thank you. Josh Rogers.
Oh, so maybe I'm thinking of... No, did Rogers finish runner-up in F1 esports? I'm not sure.
Job or Rogers? Who's the ultimate sim racer?
Well, at the moment, it's Job.
Yeah,
But marginally. Last year, Rogers was better because he won ESL 1.
Yes.
Or one of the seasons of ESL 1. Whereas Job didn't win anything.
Yeah,
So,
they're the two greats, I think.
But yeah, they are the two.
By a
guys.
big step, actually. I think they're, of the 20, we could probably name at the top flight, them two.
Yeah.
Have a margin. Was it Rasmussen? I think
Freddie Rasmussen, yeah.
I think in his heyday, he could be on their toes, but then I do think there's a bit of a gap behind. And that's where Max Beneke would be. He is a great.
Sure, yeah, he's second tier. Yeah.
I didn't say that. Well, I suppose I implied it. So
Well,
yes.
you're saying two guys
Yes.
are in the top tier.
Correct.
Imagine it's one of those tier lists. They're S tier, and then
Yes,
everyone else
thanks.
is
I'm
A.
going to regret this
And
conversation.
then we're E.
We are much lower than E.
Come on.
We're not in the alphabet. We're in the secondary Latin alphabet, and we're mid-tier in that. Oh, no, I mean, Kev looks up to those two. Like, I've spoke to Kev. You know, I've watched Kev watch them.
Mm.
I've watched Kev say things like, wow, when he's competing in the same event and he sees Job's queue time.
Yeah.
You know, Kev's a beast, a hard-working beast. But, you know, these guys are... I mean, if we're talking about that tier 2 list, they can get the lap. They can get the lap. Them two are the lap.
Sure.
They don't get the lap. They had the lap.
Sure, yeah.
All they've got to do now is just sit for a little bit. I think that's the best description I can give.
Speaking of Job, we've got the final round. So obviously that's the sim racing news complete. We'll move now on to Apex Racing Team. I've got a whole lot to cover on Apex Racing Team. But we have got the final round of PESC coming up tomorrow. And of course, you can catch the Apex Racing Team stream on Twitch and and YouTube, actually.
Facebook.
We used to live stream on Facebook Live, actually.
For you over 50s who are really into sim racing. 60s? No, it's not even 50s. It's got to be over 60s now.
It's crazy, actually, how many people are on Facebook, though, still. Awful app.
You know,
It's a pain to
It's
use.
now past. More dead people than alive.
Seriously?
Seriously. More dead people accounts than living.
I don't believe you.
It was a stat.
I don't think that's a true stat. Who's saying that? Who's going on each account on Facebook and saying they're dead? There's no way. That's such a lie.
Oh, wait.
That's,
No, okay,
this
hold
is
on.
misinformation. Like, we're meant to be a reliable news source, and he's spouting out absolute rubbish that most Facebook users have died.
Right, sorry,
What's
the
he
article said
talking about?
the article said 2070. Sorry.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, it said
In 2070, most of them.
it was a calculation, yeah, that they're flying towards it, and I misread it.
So in what? They're flying towards it in 45 years?
Yeah, all right. I scan read, and I apologise.
Honestly, and you're complaining about boomers on Facebook, and these people aren't idiots on Facebook reading the first line of a news headline.
I didn't even read the first line.
And you've not even been able to read the line of it, and saying how most Facebook users are dead. It's only been around for 15 years.
Yeah, I may have misread it. Moving on.
In PESC, we have one round to go. It is hosted at Monza. These are the standings. Job is nearly there. He just needs a decent round, and he will beat Pinto for, I think, will be his first PESC title, right? Pinto's won one. Job has won none. Caruso won it the season before. Yeah, I think it'll be Job's first. So I'm going to cough. I'm back. But it gets more interesting behind that because there's some serious prize money. The PESC prize money is very lucrative, and Luke McCohen might be able to get the P3 spot, which would be awesome. He's currently on 277 points. Johan Harth, another one of our drivers, 270. And then last season champion Jordan Caruso, 264. Cooper Webster, 262. Alejandro Sanchez, who's another one of our drivers, 258. And maybe you got to consider Gustavo Ariel as well, with 238. I mean, for Luke, if he has a bad round, he might go from 20k of prize money to 7k. There's a lot at stake.
There is. You can buy a lot of steak with that much money. You said a lot of steak.
Yeah, I know what I said.
Laugh, please, because it's been a difficult one for me, this. Yeah, it's been great. And we also need to ask Luke who's right. McCohen or McEwen? You say McCohen, yeah?
Yeah.
I say McEwen. I don't.
Well, you're probably right. What does he say?
I don't know.
I don't know. You don't.
I've been
usually say
making it
what I
up
know.
for years, and you've made it up for years. So one day we'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
And he'll say something that neither of us are saying.
Maybe we should get him to introduce a stream one time. And
Yes.
say, and then he has to say, "I'm."
He'll say Luke.
I'm Luke, and here is.
Yeah.
So really tight in that, and it's going to be some big points. And to be fair to RaceBot, they usually do quite a good job of following the live points in the final round. So yeah, they will be keeping an eye on that. In terms of getting top 15,
That's to stay.
that's to keep your license. I mean, to be fair, even if say Michael is probably going to lose out. Salvo, unfortunately, is going to lose out. It's been a disappointing season for Salvo. He's finished in the top 10 in the standings in the past. But those two are probably going to miss out. They've got 3.14 in 15th, and they've got Sipler in 16th. So if Michael has a really good round, he could get it. But he's going to have to pull off a Johan in order to get a top 15.
He is.
Looks like Lucas going to hold on, though, with 101. He'll need to score a few points, but Lucas should hold on in that 14th place. So best of luck for all those guys.
You know what we should quickly look at, because chat's asking as well, is a stand-ins people actually care about. And that's the PESC All-Stars one. The feature race. I think it should be called the feature race.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the feature race is always on before the
Correct.
main race, right?
Where the crowd pleasers. It's tight, but if we talk about this last week, I was 8th.
Yeah.
I was 8th, hoping for P5. Had a really good race last week. Pipped Emery on the last lap, last corner. She was battling Pablo Lopez into the last corner. They went side by side, and I absolutely lobbed it out wide, hoping for some traction. Got it. I had the overspeed, pushed Pablo, and I managed to just get my car ahead of Emery just before the line. And Christian Ortega had a terrible, considering how powerful he was in P4, absolutely stonkered bad round. And that's put me and Daniel Gray in the 4 and 5 spots. So I'm 2 behind Daniel Gray, 9 clear of Christian Ortega. But there are a lot of points available, and it is going to be raining next week. Let me scan down so you can see. But yeah, rain next week. So rain tomorrow, sorry.
Yeah,
next
sorry,
week.
I was getting confused. I was like, have I got the dates wrong?
No, tomorrow it's going to be raining in a Porsche GT3 with a standing start. So, Daniel Gray is not on this week.
Ooh.
No,
Nick
he will
Horn
be.
saying that Daniel Gray might not be racing this week.
How did you hear that? I spoke to him and definitely he was. He even told me, David, you're going to come into my stream and ask me what the time is. I was like, dude.
We're going to find out that he's had like a tragic accident, and then you're going to be, you know, everyone's going to be pointing fingers at you saying,
I hope. I
David
do hope
really
he's there.
wanted that watch. I think it's a bit suspicious that maybe he didn't fall that up on that height by himself.
No, I think he's there. I want him to be there. He's been my closest challenger. Like his race 2s have been amazing. My race 1s have been amazing. So we've sort of met in the middle. Yeah, it's been tough. No, I'm excited. Top 5 get the Porsche connected watch. So, but then again, I have to remember I'm just super proud to be in this. But yes, I'm coming home.
Do you
with
think
that
you'll
watch.
be invited back next year?
I hope so. If not, I've got the watch.
I don't know what you could do which would annoy them.
Have a podcast, right? No.
You get quite a collection of these watches, eh? You could probably carry around something.
Honestly, after a few rounds, when I saw, you know, all these big names and the variety of cars and how this reverse grid was working but wasn't favouring me at all, because I was strong. Like, after 2 rounds, it was looking like I was the one guy behind the Pablos and Caseys. I was 3rd or 4th every time, but that meant awful for race 2 because Casey and Pablo would get me into 1. Now I'm actually last.
Sure.
And up front are like Daniel Gray, Dan Suzuki scoring huge points. And I'm sitting there thinking, am I doing this wrong? Am I doing this wrong? Should I be finishing 6th, 7th, 8th? No, like 8th, 9th, and then rocking up for a podium on the second race. But yeah, it's been a long series. And I do appreciate all the sport. What have you found?
Little
yeah.
update when it comes to Apex Racing team. Markus Soholm done it again. Markus Soholm did a really good video summarising his Apex Racing team journey during Daytona 24. I recorded him finishing the race, but the battery was really low, and I'm not sure if I recorded it well. I don't think he used the footage. The one bit that I recorded, I think Marcus got rid of because I probably didn't do it very well. Oh no, here we go. I filmed this. Yeah, I filmed this. That's me, yeah. I filmed that. That's my camera. But no, it's a really good camera. It's a really good video.
Camera.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh no, what have I done? I'm showing you again. Come on. Here we go. Yeah, it's a really good video, so do check it out. Also, a couple of fun videos we posted on social media from Marcus and others guessing iRatings back when they came for the Daytona meetup, so do check out them. Apex Racing League. We have got Nick Horn in chat saying, charge it up next time. It wasn't my camera, it was Marcus's camera, and he gave me a almost dead camera. So it wasn't my fault, right?
Yeah. I was going to say we've got about 10,000 batteries in there.
Oh, that's not working today. That's fine.
What was you going to talk about? The Apex Racing League?
Apex Racing League sports cars. There are still sign-ups open. So if you are a GT4 or a TCR driver, go to apexracingleague.com in order to sign up. We have limited spots left in the GT4s. so you need to be quick if you're going to sign up in the GT4s. But TCRs, we have still got a fair few spots available. So I think at the moment the field's looking at like about 35, no, yeah, more than 40 cars. Yeah, it's like 42 cars I think now is on the roster. So really recommend signing up. We still got another 10 days till round 1. That is Monday nights, GT4 and TCR multi-class 1-hour races. And we've just got one clip from Apex Racing TV. This is the final lap of the Radicals official series. Caruso versus Friedrich. And unfortunately that happens.
Why not use the other lane?
I'm not actually sure who wins this. I only saw the crash. Does Ione get past? Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. No, he's dropping back. It's too far. Friedrich won. Now, let's play the lame game.
Yeah, so look at this again.
Yeah, it's car behind's fault.
Yeah. The blue car, like that angle's not forgiving enough to show, because if we stare at that line, the blue car's now touching, and watch how far he is from it a second ago.
So he does move a bit.
No, go back before. I mean, he actually moves. So he's moving right, gets to there, then moves left. So I don't love it, actually.
But I don't think there was ever... I guess there's just about a car's width, isn't there?
It wasn't great. I'm not saying it wasn't the car behind's fault, but the car in front did himself no favours by moving 3 or 4 times.
Sure. Cost no stewards, it's an official series. Awful noise.
That slow-mo noise can never happen, please. Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Hey, Eric in chat.
Eric Rosette saying, the soothing tones of Fitzpatrick and Sampson. Perfect Friday. Good weekend, everyone. Happy weekend to you, Eric. That summarises it for me. We've almost kept it to under an hour this episode, which is impressive considering how much we've gone through.
No, we started early.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, it has just gone over an hour, hasn't it?
Yep.
We've shortened the episodes, though, as time has gone by. Remember, in the early days, it was like 1 hour and 25.
It's because we finish each other's...
sentences.
Thank you.
I'll show you... I'm not actually that thick. I'll show you. I'm going to show you a clip later on, Nick Helm.
Okay, good.
With a joke about that. Anything more you wanted to say?
No, I mean we covered every sim and Motorsport Games again, so it's been the late Apex podcast, that's for sure. Even got some iRacing Fanatec. I mean, we've talked about every company and every sim. It's exciting times. And one thing, if we go back to that comparison of all sims, because we were focusing on who was winning against who.
So many tabs. Here we go.
But the takeaway for me, everything, well, apart from that yellow line, at least the yellow line's an addition. So again, it's an addition. If we go from the left to the right, it's a permanent increase. So sim racing wins. Yeah, the yellow looks like it's going down, but if you put it into context, it wasn't there in 2019 or 2020, 21, 20. So it's another addition. So sim racing is winning.
What about, are we able to get race room on that as well?
We can. Do people play that?
No, I was just wondering if those numbers have come from other sims. I was just thinking, what are the other sims? Race room is one of them, at least on PC.
Right, I have it now. Race room.
And of course, you've also got R Factor.
I'm just going to pump it without seeing it. Oh, thanks, Rob.
Just under a K, so that's similar levels to what the green line.
But they actually had a peak here, and now they're looking at a slow reduction.
Yeah. I mean, it's fairly consistent, isn't it? I know you got that peak, but apart from that, it's all fairly consistent, right?
Yeah.
And it's still up from what it was initially.
Yeah.
It's surprising how small those launches are, especially Race Room. Oh, the Race Room 2013. I didn't even realise Race Room was around that early. I thought it launched in 2017, but
I wasn't aware.
But maybe that was an early access thing.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised Race Room didn't have higher numbers than that in the early years, considering I think you can play it for free. Anyway, I think that is all we will talk about. Next week, we will discuss all the new news, maybe some more details about F1 sim racing. Of course, the ends of PESC, and maybe David will have a nice watch on, perhaps. So, yeah.
I'm gonna do that all podcast.
When do you think you'll get your watch?
As soon as I get P4 tomorrow.
Yeah?
Yep.
Do you think you'll finish and then there'll be...
Better be. Porsche have helicopters, don't they?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, give him the watch already, guys. You know, he's going to get P5.
Thank you, Lewis, in chat. Good luck, mate. Thank you, AMS. Thank you, everyone, for the kind words. Any ESL R1 news? No.
Nope. So, yeah, disappointing about that. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of other news coming up next week. Do tune in for the late Apex. Thank you for watching, and we will see you back next week. See you
Ciao.
then.